Hey YouTubers, don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell over by the subscriber button to notify you every single time I upload. Enjoy the video.
Hey guys, welcome back to another Dragon Ball Super discussion. It's been a while since we've done one of these, but for this one I wanted to talk about Beerus and whether or not Beerus is even a threat anymore. Now hold your horses, right? At any given moment, Beerus can decide that he just wants to destroy this or that, or the Earth, for example, but will Beerus actually do it is the real question. And joining me for this video, I have a good friend of mine, Mark, aka Real to Real. How are you doing, man? It's nice to have you here.
Oh, it's been a while, man. Thanks for having me back on the channel. This is an interesting discussion because I know a lot of people are going to take it, maybe. Just listen to what we have to say.
Yeah, that's why I said, well, of course he's a threat. Anybody's a threat, right? But, you know, really, I wanted to kind of backstep with Beerus because upon introduction, he was basically the antagonist, right? He wasn't, I don't want to call him a villain, but he was the antagonist of the Battle of Gods arc and movie. So Beerus comes and he was in this position, was like, hey, well, if you guys don't show me the Super Saiyan God, I'm going to just destroy your planet. Of course, he wound up not doing that because he had a good fight with Goku and took a liking to Goku. And of course, those characters go train over there. So you kind of can see where a relationship was built up between Beerus and Goku and Vegeta to an extent, right? So nowadays, in the Tournament of Power, fast forwarding all the way to where we are now, as these characters are getting eliminated for his universe, you see a theme there. Beerus is starting to take notice of these characters. He's like, oh, what was his name again? Oh, you did well, kid. Oh, excuse me, Gohan. Or like, you did well, what's your name again? Master Roshi, you know, things like that. He's starting to really take notice of these guys and start to really seem like he really cares about them. And if that's the case, right, is Beerus even a threat to Universe 7's Earth anymore? Which is what really prompted this, because of course he's a god of destruction. I don't know if he's really within his jurisdiction anymore, right, as far as like not doing his job. So that's where I wanted to kind of point out, you know, the way that things are with Universe 7 and Beerus, because it really, at this point to me, it seems like Beerus is anything but a threat to those characters. Seems like at this point Beerus would just, you know, do what he can to defend those guys. If we see Goku's getting beat up, for example, not in this tournament setting because he can't jump into the ring, but just that they're fighting the next villain, for example, and there's no way for these guys to win, Beerus will just jump in and just eliminate whoever it is, right? So that's kind of what I wanted to kind of point out, even though that's not who he's supposed to be. So Mark, what are your thoughts, man?
Well, really, we haven't seen Beerus in a position to do that ever since the Fukkatsu no F arc of Dragon Ball Super, because, as you said, in the Battle of Gods arc of Dragon Ball Super, he was kind of the antagonizing force, and it's important to mention that he was actually way more antagonizing, way darker of a character in the Dragon Ball Super narrative than he was in the movie. So, yeah, like, they've really kind of watered him down. They made him almost like his movie counterpart at this point, where he's just somewhat of a mentor friend type of person who's just going to be like a buddy to Goku and everybody, which is kind of what we've talked about in the past, but that's what Goku's character is. He makes these antagonizing people his friends, does it all the time. Everybody that we know in Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Super, and the original Dragon Ball was an enemy at some point, so he's just kind of falling in line. The problem with it is that Beerus is the god of destruction. It's his job, and obviously he shouldn't have overwhelming emotions for one planet over another because he can't do his job properly. But like you said, that's what we're seeing here, and honestly, I just don't think Dragon Ball is even going to put itself in that situation. It's not going to allow Beerus to watch from the sidelines anymore because, like you said, he is overwhelmingly getting attached to these people. Goku and Vegeta and everyone else who's fighting for Universe 7, obviously they are fighting not only for their existence, but his existence as well. So maybe they can do that to retcon why he's feeling like admiration for these people, because they're given good fights and they're making his existence possible sometime down the line. That's a possibility. And then all of it was a show and he's just a lot more hard than he actually is, but he has this soft spot that we've seen, we know he's covering up, and that's why he doesn't help them in the future or anything. But like I said, I think he's not going to do it. I think Dragon Ball Super is going to figure out a way to keep him away from all the action, the same way they did with the Battle of, or the Future Trunks arc, where they went into the future and Beerus didn't follow, and his whole purpose was simply to erase Zamasu. That's going to be it. No real danger when he's around Goku or Vegeta or anything else like that, because he's just a showstopper. Like, no one can step to Beerus. I don't even think, even though a lot of people might want to argue, Goku and Vegeta cannot step to Beerus at this point.
Yeah, they should be able to. I mean, logically speaking, but I don't think that they can, and I don't really know if, well, maybe Ultra Instinct, but aside from that, I don't know if they can, right? You know, especially when they attain mastery of Ultra Instinct, because that's a level that even Beerus hasn't attained yet. So maybe at that point, but still, I mean, like, it feels like Beerus, of course, we know why he was incepted into the series. He was basically put there as a benchmark for these characters, right? To say, hey, this is a new level of power. This is where you guys want to be. Now, they kind of moved on from that and made Beerus a mainstay of the cast. And then they put another benchmark in the series, aka Monaka, which Goku still thinks is, you know. It's funny that Goku still thinks Monaka is so powerful, right? And it's like, I wonder how he'll react to Monaka when he sees him next time. Like, hey, I got this new form. I bet you're still stronger than me. And Monaka's just shitting bullets, bro. So, you know, Beerus was kind of put there as a benchmark as far as like, hey, this is a level you guys want to strive to attain. And of course, he even had to put the beat down on Goku at some point. And it just kind of felt like, especially throughout up to the Trunks arc, you know, it can be debated whether or not Beerus could have beaten Murtzamasu, right? Because Murtzamasu had different feats. But it just kind of felt like at any point, had they instated Beerus in that arc, he would have just eliminated Goku Black, you know, before it even got that serious, right? So you're right, he is a bit of a showstopper in that he is a character that they can kind of just fall back on, and they probably will, going forward, find a way to remove him from the operating cast, you know, kind of the way that they typically do with the characters anyway. Oh, where's Gohan? Oh, he's at this conference. You know, like, they do stuff like that just to try to say that they're doing it and try to give spotlight to certain characters. So I get it. It's a good little ploy that they can, you know, kind of do. As far as Beerus is concerned, though, I wanted to kind of move forward with it. So with Beerus, we talked about the possibility of him taking part in any sort of big, major, threatening event, which I agree with you. For example, if Frieza tries to do something, Beerus can just shut that down. So we're going to have to see how that happens, because at least Beerus is present for this, whatever Frieza's plan is in this Tournament of Power, if it comes to fruition. But do you think that there's a level of this, too, that kind of extends to Whis? Because we know Whis is typically a neutral party. He's not really there to do anything but tend to Beerus. But he also kind of stepped out of his bounds in taking in new students. Do you think some of this extends to Whis, too? Because we know that he could potentially be, you know, a problem. Or he could have been, but he's not going to be.
Man, you know, outside of figuring out a way, like you said, taking out Beerus, maybe taking out the Supreme Kai, nerfing, or taking out Beerus, and then also nerfing Whis, probably the only way that I can see getting Whis out of the picture. Beerus has a built-in mechanism from the very beginning. He can just go back to sleep. You know, just for a couple years, he takes a cat nap, and then we don't have to worry about him for an arc. I think that's perfectly fine. I mean, they've done the same thing with Boo, but I don't know how you get rid of Whis. I really don't, without figuring out a way to take him out of the arc entirely, or figuring out a way to nerf all the angels at once without taking out Beerus, without taking out the Supreme Kai. Especially with Whis, because if you look at the anime and the way that they built this up, and also the manga, where with Belmont or Vermouth, whatever you want to call him, talking about taking Topo as an apprentice, and Margarita didn't know anything about Jiren either. So it's obvious that I think the Gods of Destruction picked their own successors, not the angels, maybe? And Whis has always kind of felt like someone who's kind of bent the rules the same way that Beerus and Champa do. So yeah, Whis definitely has some admiration for Goku and Vegeta, and probably everyone else in Universe 7. He would probably step in, and that's a really good question. I don't know how you get rid of him without taking everyone out.
Yeah, that's food for thought. Because, like I said, it starts off with Beerus, but it also extends to his companion, Whis, because they both serve a similar role in this series, right? As a benchmark, as a mentor, as, you know, just this character that the series can fall back on. Because Whis, for example, Beerus didn't actually do anything, but Whis actually turned back the hands of time. You know, so there is no question, really. If Whis will step in, Beerus for sure will step in to help defend these guys, you know? So it just kind of is interesting when you come back to that and you consider the possibilities of the ways that, you know, these characters have evolved and have changed as the series has progressed, and they've instated, again, new mechanisms, new characters, and different threats in the way that the series has handled them. But all in all, just to kind of come back to the beginning question, you know, because we kind of went off topic a little bit, but, you know, coming back to the beginning question, is Beerus a threat to Universe 7 and their Earth, really? first and foremost, no, he's not. But again, really, it's his job, so he's not really a threat in any way, shape, or form to begin with, because he's doing what he's supposed to do. But as far as the Earth goes, I don't see Beerus turning on them. I feel like he's too far gone now. I feel like Beerus has established too many meaningful relationships with a lot of the characters there, especially Goku and Vegeta, and then he's starting to really take notice and grow admiration for the rest of the cast there. And that's basically how I feel. Would you agree?
I do. And just going back on the Whis thing as well, I completely agree with Beerus. He has admiration. He's never going to step in. He's never going to fight them or harm them in any way. And if he is given the chance, which I really don't believe that they're ever going to give him the chance, he's always going to have to be the spectator in some way, like he is in the Tournament of Power. Then if he had that chance, he would go after it. But Whis, the only thing I could think of getting Whis out of the picture is having him be busy. It's hard when you've already decided that Bulma can have a direct line to Whis with a
I was
going
to bring that up. Freaking Bulma can call Whis whenever the hell she wants to. Yeah. That is so OP when you think about it. Just to have a direct line to one of the strongest entities, if not the strongest individual entity in your universe. Just, hey, Whis, can you come here? Of course, Whis takes, what does he take, like 30 minutes to get there? Or something like that from Beerus' planet? But still.
22 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah, still. That's such a cheat code.
So the only way you can do that is to have something going on with the angels or the hierarchy that's going to completely distract Whis' attention. Because as we saw in the Fakatsu no F arc of Dragon Ball Super, also in the movie, he can like not see her message. Like, she can leave a voice message for him.
Yeah.
So it's gonna have to be contrived, and I can see that getting old. But that's the only thing I can actually think of that they've established, because Bulma just has that cheat code.
Yeah, she does. I agree with you 100%, man. So, anyways, guys, we leave it up to you. Let us know your thoughts in the comments down below, whether or not you think Beerus or Whis are even threats to Universe 7 and the main cause. And also, as a secondary question, are they a threat to the antagonizing forces that could come out in the series later on, and how can they potentially remove these characters? Because spoilers, yes, they would be a threat for any sort of villain that would come out later on in the future. Even if, again, Beerus is surpassed by Goku and Vegeta because they master Ultra Instinct or get some other crazy form after that at some point, Whis should still be above everybody else. So Whis, at the very least, could be an issue. So I wanted to kind of position that to you guys in the comments down below. And make sure that you guys do subscribe to Mark. His channel will be linked down below. Any other plugs you want to put in there, man?
Oh, no. I'm fine. Thanks for having me, man.
No. No problem, bro. It's definitely my pleasure. Anyways, guys, thank you guys for the continued support. Hope you guys enjoyed it. We'll talk to you guys later.